He said, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Meaning there are two you. So there's a you that meets the heights. There's a you that is bigger than what we can imagine that is inside of you. And that is the one craving to come out. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Funmi Chris. If you are new on this channel, please click the subscribe button so that you don't get to miss out on any of our amazing content. So today I'm going to be sharing what I titled, What Your Frustration is Really Telling You. That feeling of wanting more, that feeling of restlessness, that craving inside of you that is keeping you restless, what is actually telling you? And that is what we are here to tell you today. I would like to start by telling you a story in my life, and this happened just 2 years ago, 2022. So I was here in my base in Kwara State, Nigeria, and my younger sister came around to see me and to attend a conference, after which we traveled together for the holidays. Things were okay. We had a good time. I think it was my third day, at home when it was in the night. Then some questions started coming to my heart and I became restless. Like my sleep was taken away from me. And right there, I knew I wasn't ready for a vacation. So in the middle of the night, I told my sister, I'm going back to my station. I'm going back to Kwara State. She was surprised, but then there's nothing she could do. So I came back on 24th of December. That is a day to Christmas. It was a shock to everybody, but I knew that I had to come back because the restlessness was too much on me. So I came back, and on that very day alone, that night, I got 2 certificates because I enrolled for an online course, and I started and finished the 2 of them that night because I knew there was something in me. There was something craving for more inside of me. And there was this NGO here in Nigeria that I've been following. I love their results. They are doing something similar to what we do in our non-profit. And I love the results they are having. So I got the contact of the executive director, but I knew it wasn't time to contact him even when I had the contact in August. Then 24th of December, I reached out to him. I sent him a message and I shared our handles with him. I told him what we do here, and I told him what I admire about his work and why I would like a time to put a call through. And graciously, he replied and he told me, let's talk on Boxing Day, which is 25th of December. So I told him there's no problem. So I was eagerly waiting for the day. And on the 26th, he put a call through and we spoke for like 36 minutes. I told him everything. He listened to me because he could understand what I was saying. And he offered me 2 things. He said, you can come and visit our organization, ask questions. We're going to, our books are going to be open to you. Or you come over, roll your sleeves, and be part of our system for a period of time to volunteer. Now, this is me that I've never worked for anybody before, except for running an NGO, a non-profit for somebody, but the person was not even there. So I wasn't answerable to the person, as it were. And now I'm in my own thing over 8 years. But then, because I know what I was looking for, I told this man, I'm coming by February 2023, and I'm coming to roll my sleeves and work with you for 2 months. January came, the whole feeling and craving and everything went down. But because I've knocked the door, I knew I had to go. So I went there and I told them I can't do 2 months, but I will do 1 month. I did 1 month, and as God will have it, I went there to understudy their school. They are running accelerated center, by which when you pick street children from the street, they don't have to spend 6 years in primary school. They spend 3 years and they are ready for secondary school. I love that. Because there are some of my children that are already teenagers and they've not been to school. Am I going to start them up from nursery again? So this is the basic thing that took me there. But they have a shelter with the school. And that day was when they splitted their shelter. The boys and the girls used to stay together. But because the children are now teenagers, so they got a new apartment, a new property for the boys. So they put me up in the visitors' room of the boys. So I was understudying the school, but then I was living at boys' shelter. Right from when I got there, I got integrated because it was the first day of the boys in the home. It was my first day. It was the first day of the caregiver in the home. So it was new to everybody, and that helped me and helped my mind to capture the vision. And I started thinking that this might actually be the secret to their success. Having a shelter might be the secret, might be that one thing that I needed. To cut the long story short, 7 months after I left the place, we launched our own. We established our own home. And the results have been amazing ever since. So now when you look at that result, compared to the craving of wanting more, that restlessness, that feelings of I needed more and all of that. So that is my story. That is one of my stories. I have so many stories of amazing things being born out of my feeling of frustration. And that is why I'm here today to tell you that frustration, that feelings of frustration, that feeling of inadequacy, that feelings of wanting more, that feelings of I'm more than this, that thing that is making what you used to enjoy to lose taste, to make you to lose interest in what used to interest you, might actually pointing you to something bigger that you need to achieve. Now, there are some people, they suppress that feeling. And they be like, I was feeling like that at the time, but now I'm okay. You are not meant to be okay. The feeling is like birth pang. It's like you want to give birth. If you've ever seen or you have experienced, labor before, there's no woman that will be having that, feelings and we just sit down and be watching television. You will see the restlessness. Forget about the fine girl thing. Like, it's always to the extreme. Why? Because a life is about to be birthed. And the same for us. When God wants to push us to another level, that feelings come because you are bigger than where you are. So we call it frustration. And some, when they don't know what to do with it, it pushes them to depression. And some to being suicidal. No, come on now. Reverend Sam said, somebody hear me, he said, when tough time comes, some men grow wings and soar, while some look for crutches. Don't be that guy that looks for crutches. Don't be the lady that looks for crutches. When things like that happen, it's time to sit down. You need your aloneness. You need to be alone. You don't gather community to go give birth. Max, you go with the husband that impregnated you, or maybe with the family, or maybe mother, just few people follows you into the labor room. When you're having that kind of feelings, you need time alone. You need to, because something great is about to be birthed. You don't do it among plenty people. It's not the time to start asking people questions. It's a time to commune with your God. It's a time to separate yourself. Take a moment out. Find a quiet time. Go for a walk. You need to calm your head down. Block yourself away from what is going on all around you. You need that time. You need to listen to that thing that is inside of you. So these are the steps I'm going to advise you take. What I always take. Number 1, take time out. Be alone. Then number 2, go with a book and a pen. Go with a writing material. Pour your mind out. Sometimes I do this. I'll just take a biro, a pen and a book, and I write it. Like, why am I feeling this way? What is going on? And in the process of me doing that, freshness comes to my mind. And the aha moment comes. And I realize, oh, okay, this is actually what this is the signal I was getting. This is the signal I was getting. So I don't want you to tag that kind of feelings as negative. On most occasions, it's a pointer for you to change base. It's a pointer that you need to, you're not focusing on what you should focus on. It's a pointer most of the time that your purpose is calling you. It's time to jump and walk on water. Maybe all those while you knew what God wants you to do. You know that you're going to do this, you're going to do that, but you're still enjoying your comfort zone. But all of a sudden, God will make your comfort zone to be so hot for you. Don't then go look for AC and pushing it up. No, that's not the time. It's the time for you to strategize. And when you get hold of the instruction, run with it. Run with it. So 2 things I've said there. Find a quiet place. Go with writing material. A book and a pen or your tab. You need it. You don't need your mentor at this time. It's you. It is you. It's not mentor. It's not you need your pastor. If you get a good mentor and you have a good pastor, they will still tell you to go find time alone. It's all about that thing that is inside of you. You know, Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 down, the Bible says God was talking to Jeremiah and definitely to us, because what he says for one, he says to others. He said, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Meaning there are 2 you. So there's a you that meets the heights. There's a you that is bigger than what we can imagine that is inside of you. And that is the one craving to come out. That is the one craving to come out. And we need to let it out. We need to let it out. So don't always suppress it. No. It's time. It's time. This world is like a puzzle. You are a piece. We need it. We need you to complete the puzzle. We need what you carry. You can't keep suppressing it and suppressing it. No. It's time to unleash it. It's time to let it flow naturally. Take a quiet time. That's my first advice to you. Secondly, go with a pen, a writing material, a book and a pen, or a tab. Commune with your God. Commune with your God. Ask questions. And hey, go for prayer work. Meditation is key, because we pray most of the time and we don't listen to what he has to tell us. Meditation, you need it. Ask yourself some questions, and because you've prayed, your mind is open for answers. And lastly, anything he tells you to do, please run with it, because at that time it's like heaven is open over you. Run with it. Don't procrastinate the kind of instructions you're going to get at that moment. Run with it like your life depends on it, because actually it does. And that is what I have for you today. That is what I have for you today. Enough of that midnight cry. Enough of that inner hunger. Enough of that. You need to live with joy unspeakable. And until you are in your God zone, at the center of your purpose, at the center of God's will for you, you won't enjoy what is called real joy. I'm telling you, real happiness, real joy is not about the material things. It's not about things that we mark and tick as progress and success, in our generation. It's about being at that center of God's purpose for you. It's about being at that center. Now, when you are planted at the center of God's purpose for you, I love to call it your God zone. Now, you are now flourishing from there. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. So that is what I'm here to tell you today. And I hope you got it. Please comment. Let me hear your opinion. Tell me your stories. Let me hear what you're going through. I would like to share with you. I would like to hear you. I would like us to talk. So I would like to leave this with you before I leave. The darkest hour of the day has only 60 minutes. Only 60 minutes. So take time out and let the light come and let the day begin. You understand what I'm saying? Thank you very much, and see you at the boardroom.